Coming to you from North Park, Lexus, Rio Grande Valley, this is the UTRGV Coaches Show. Coach, look at this.
Yeah, this is a nice ride right here.
Wow. Well, I hope I get a chance to drive something like that later, maybe toward the end of the show. But until then, you want to go do a coach's show?
Let's do it.
Welcome inside North Park, Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. Alongside UTRGV men's tennis head coach Nate Robinson, I'm Jonah Goldberg, and we are in the midst of the Fall Collection Sales Event at North Park, Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. Get 0% APR financing for up to 36 months on select L certified by Lexus ES, IS, NX, and RX models. The Fall Collection Sales Event runs through November 1st. So make sure you stop by North Park Lexus off Interstate 2 in San Juan or visit nplexusrgv.com for more information. So Coach Robinson, you've been here for how many months now?
I got here in July, so 3 or 4 months now. Yeah.
How's it going?
It's been good. I really enjoyed, kind of getting out and meeting the community, getting to know everybody on campus, getting the guys on campus, getting to know those guys. It's really nice because it's kind of like your family grows a little bit when you move to a new area. And the Rio Grande Valley has been just a great place to kind of get myself here, have fun, enjoy myself, and really get to know what this area is about. I mean, it's definitely kind of a nice small town feel, but everything's here, and then everything about it's just been very smooth so far.
Comes from UC Davis, spent the last few years, had a lot of success in the Big West there, Western Michigan before that, Oklahoma State before that. How did all those experiences help to prepare you for this position?
I've been really lucky to get to learn from some really good coaches along the way and coach at different levels, different expectations, all the way down to working in clubs before that. So it's really helped me kind of become fully rounded as a coach. I feel like I can communicate and figure out ways to get the best out of an athlete as best possible, and also help them grow as a human, more than just on the tennis court, but also once their career is over in tennis, whatever that may be, whenever that may be.
So that's something that's great to hear you say, because not everybody always thinks about that when you think about sports, right? It's about, how am I going to win the doubles point, and what's the strategy in the singles, and how many matches can we win? What's our record going to be? Did we win more doubles matches than we lost in tournament play? Your team did. But you talk about getting them ready for that next part. What's that been like with some of your student athletes in the past, and what have you talked about with some of your current ones?
It's definitely one of the reasons that they're in college. They're looking for that growth. They're looking for that time for them. I mean, that 18 to 22 is an odd time in life when you're expected to know more than you probably can understand, and I think athletics is a really good way to help you get through those and sort through those times while getting a good degree and preparing yourself to become a professional after tennis, after your sports. And in the past, I think I've had a really good job of creating those relationships. I'm still very close with a lot of my ex-players. We talk about what they're doing now. They call me with questions. I call them with questions, just to see what's going on and all those things. And with the guys on the team, they definitely seem very hungry to learn in every aspect, from a tennis court to, how can I help them with school stuff? How can I help them, with stuff outside of school? I always tell them my door is open and look forward to sitting down and having, honest conversations about whatever it may be.
Now on the court, when you were at Oklahoma State, your team played for a national championship. What was that experience like?
That was almost a whirlwind of an experience. I was lucky enough that Coach Young there brought me on the staff. And the team took off. Not initially. It was kind of the fun part about that year. We kind of struggled out of the gate. weren't playing that well, were supremely talented, just really struggling to get it together. And kind of the funny full circle thing is that we went out to USC and played Coach West Knott, and we got our butts handed to us that day, really badly. And it kind of was that galvanizing force to the team where they basically stepped back and said, look, we're really good, but if we want to be great, this loss should tell us what we need to do. And they came together as a team. They wrote down all these lists of goals that they had for the rest of the year. And we didn't lose again until the national championship, in which we lost 3-4 and having a match point. So, you know, little tough, you know, to see the silver trophy every now and then, but also very, very lucky that I got to be a part of that team with those players. Definitely something I'll cherish forever.
So you knew Coach Knott when you got here, UTRGV's women's tennis coach.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had met him while he was there. I always told him, you know, thanks for that. Thanks for that loss. It got us rolling that year and really helped us, yeah, kind of get that fire in our belly to get going.
So because you have that existing relationship, you know, you've got that tennis clinic in Brownsville coming up on November 6th. And after the youth clinic, which is 10:30 in the morning?
10, yeah.
10 a.m. When that's done, you're going to bring the men's and women's teams together to play a match. So is there a little something extra there where you want your side to beat Coach Knott's side?
I mean, there's always competition anytime any of us, you know, are doing anything. You know, I mean, we all want the best for each other, but you're always kind of watching, you know, scores come in like, oh, they're doing good. We got to get the guys going, you know, and things like that. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. It'll be great for us to get some mix together, to get things like that. You know, maybe me and Wes coach against each other a little bit to have some fun that way. So there's always going to be competition, but it's always going to be a lot of fun, and especially to see that level. You know, I hope the young kids in the area can come out and watch that level and use it as a chance to really, you know, see what it's about, see how hard these players work, and you know, maybe inspire somebody else to become a vaquero one day.
It's the Brownsville Tennis Center, November 6th, 10 a.m. It's completely free. Amazing thing that you're doing for the community. How important is it to you to be able to get out in the community like this?
Oh, it's hugely important. I mean, we're just an extension of the community. That's our job, is to be a part of the community and help grow, you know, professionals within it. Bring in the proper players and proper people who help grow the community as well. And while they're here, have them get out in the community, show them what, you know, UTRGV is about, and help everything grow around it. I think that's one of the best things that I've noticed since I've been here, is how much that family aspect has been preached about. You know, the UTRGV being not just in Edinburgh, but in the Rio Grande Valley.
Sus la familia. You know, UTRGV has hosted the Western Athletic Conference Championships twice, both at the aforementioned Brownsville Tennis Center. Now, we're still a few months away from WAC Championships, but you just completed your fall tournament schedule. How'd your team do?
Yeah, I think we did good. We definitely showed growth, and that's the biggest thing you can ask for right now. You know, we had guys who really committed to the stuff we've been talking about in practice. We had guys who really committed to the extra work being put in, asking more of yourself every day, and really trying to make us a better program from a baseline. You know, we're obviously going to have our good days and our bad days, but that average, can we keep that average nice and high? You're never going to play your best, always. It's going to be up and down, up and down. But if we can keep that average nice at a good level, then you're going to compete against anybody in the nation.
You talk about the baseline, and something I know you've been preaching to your players has been raising the floor. What's that about?
So raising the floor is basically, on your worst day, who can you compete with? And you know, anything you do in tennis, it's going to be on an average. You have your top level as high as you can play, and you have your bottom level, and that's as low as you can play. And then you have your average in the middle, which is where you spend most of your time, bouncing off the tops and bottoms. If we can raise that floor, then that means that when we're playing our worst, we're still competing with a lot of players. And when we bring that floor up, then our average lifts with it. And it allows us to compete against higher levels, allows us to be more confident in what we're doing, because whenever we're, you know, not playing that well, we're not playing that bad. So really trying to raise that floor, and we basically do that by just sheer amounts of effort in drills. If you can put that extra effort in a drill and have that confidence in what you're doing, having a full buy-in, which is what I will praise the guys on this fall more than anything, is 100% buy-in to the drills, to the concepts, and all those things involved. They've done a good job of doing that, and I definitely think we've raised our floor quite a bit this fall.
That's great to hear. I know you came in, and by the time you come in, I mean, the roster's mostly set at that point. Mm-hmm. So what was that like, that kind of transition, and also implementing your culture?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, anytime that happens, it's just about getting in with the guys and letting them know who I am, getting to know them as people, so that we can have open and honest conversations about what's going forward. Because anytime there's a new coach that comes in, there's a culture shift. And with a culture shift, there's always going to be growing pains. So understanding that as these growing pains are happening, that me and them can have honest conversations about, well, okay, I don't like this. Well, okay, but that's the new expectation. Or I don't like this. Okay, well, maybe there is a better way to do this down the road. And things like that, so that we can help grow the culture in the proper way. It's been really good. I've really enjoyed this process. Like I said, it's not been without some growing pains and some, communication errors and things like that happen. But we've definitely come out the other side. I think at the end of this fall, we're going to be rolling pretty good.
Speaking of growth, UTRGV certainly going through a period of growth right now. Lucky to be able to get in when you did, huh?
Oh, I'm very excited about that. The fact that I get to come in to this school that's just ready to explode. It's ready to take these next big steps. It was one of the big things that pulled me towards it too. When I got to sit down with Chase Conk and all the senior administrative staff and talk about what's going on here, it became very, very exciting to have the opportunity to come in here and help turn UTRGV into a household name.
UTRGV men's tennis head coach Nate Robinson, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
UTRGV opens up the spring dual season in January. For more information, log on to goutrgv.com. The UTRGV Coaches Show rolls on with UTRGV women's golf head coach Brian Navoa next from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley.
In the minute it takes to knock back your drink, spot your new crush, or cheer on the home team, you could do something that really makes a difference. Sign up as an organ donor. In less than a typical timeout, you could sign up to save 8 lives. It sure beats using a minute to mustard that hot dog. Sign up at tosa1.org.
The Rio Grande Valley is growing every day. That's why you need a team you can trust. 2 stations, 2 languages. The most experienced news anchors in the valley.
Authorities in Stark County plan to give a COVID briefing tomorrow.
The largest weather team keeping you informed in English
y en español.
Mientras tanto, esas mínimas van a seguir cayendo a los 50 para el resto de esta noche.
A sports team covering the RGV like no one else.
Both teams going into this matchup undefeated, looking for a playoff spot.
We're live in the morning, at noon, and in the evenings. Anytime you need us, we're online and on social media too. We do this all in both languages. Who else can deliver this type of coverage? No one. Channel 5 News
and Azteca Valle
working together for you.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Now hiring awesome crew. Apply at work@canes.com.
I got mine because I'm a former student athlete.
I've got mine because the UTRGV Vaqueros are a hometown team.
I've got mine. Visa.
I've got mine because I'm a proud alumni.
I've got mine. I've got mine.
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
I've got mine. Go Vaqueros.
Get yours. UTRGV basketball season tickets are on sale now. Visit goutrgv.com/tickets to get yours today.
Town Place Suites by Marriott, Edinburgh's newest destination spot and a host hotel of UTRGV Athletics with the amenities that a frequent long-stay traveler or visiting team in town to take on the V-Nation looks for. The nightlife is amplified with Ignite Lounge, a great way to wrap up a long workday or celebrate a big win. Town Place Suites by Marriott on Trenton in between Business 281 and Sugar Road and minutes away from the excitement of UTRGV. Town Place Suites by Marriott, Edinburgh.
Coach, this car looks good on you.
It's so good. I'm sweet like candy.
You want to go do this?
I do. Let's do it, Jonah.
Welcome back to the UTRGV Coaches Show. I'm Jonah Goldberg, and we're joined by UTRGV Women's Golf Head Coach Brian Navoa.
Jonah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
And we're at North Park Lexus Rio Grande Valley, where we're in the midst of the Fall Collection Sales Event. Get 0% APR financing for up to 36 months on select L-certified by Lexus ES, IS, NX, and RX models. The Fall Collection Sales Event runs through November 1st. So make sure you stop by North Park Lexus off Interstate 2 in San Juan or visit mplexusrgv.com for more information. Well, Coach Navoa, you just finished your fall season. How's your team looking so far?
Outstanding. Made a lot of progress this semester. Girls are looking really good. They're ready to put in the work the next 3 or 4 months to have a great spring. I couldn't be happier. There was a few growing pains at the beginning, I think just getting our feet wet in September. But then once after that first event came through, I could see a lot of good golf play, solid golf play, and just a lot more commitment to what we're working on and what we were doing.
You really got a good variety of experiences. You left the state 3 times in the fall. Tell us about that schedule a little bit.
Well, it goes back to when I got hired. I wanted to create some national recognition for the Rio Grande Valley and thought that branching out and taking some great trips and playing some premier events with teams ranked in the top 50, top 75 would give the opportunity for feeling what it's like to play on a national stage instead of just staying regional. I have such a talented group of young ladies. I want to give them the opportunity to play with some of the best college players, I should say, in the world, because there's so much international involvement in collegiate Division I golf, and wanted them to have great trips, have a great student experience, see different parts of the country, and see what it's like to play championship level golf courses designed by some of the top architects in the country as well.
See, that's a cool thing that you just mentioned about how the travel, I mean, that's a real big part of the student athlete experience.
Oh, 100%. Sometimes everything goes smoothly and you have a great Airbnb, and sometimes things don't go smoothly, but you got a great memory and a great story to tell, and a great bonding experience, I think, amongst the 5 ladies that are traveling or the assistant coaches with us, so forth.
You mentioned an assistant coach, Paula Cortez Ortiz.
Yes.
New this year.
Absolutely.
What's that been like, having an assistant coach?
She's a breath of fresh air. She absolutely knows what she's doing, was a Division I golfer herself, and brings a lot to the table. She's a great communicator and structures things and presents herself in such a mature way that you can't help but get better around her. And she's a great person to bounce things off of. And, you know, sometimes men and women tend to see things differently, but, you know, having her there really helps us keep each other in line with the vision of the program, the structure of practice, the discipline and practice that goes on. I'm really grateful to have her on board, and I'm sure Philip Tate is too, as the men's coach.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. One assistant coach for the 2 programs. So do you 2 engage in a tug of war every morning to decide who's going to get her services?
Oh, that's such a great question. Well, we actually pre-plan when she's needed more so for that week, if it's a tournament week for the men or a tournament for the women, or if it's an important week of I'm going to say men will work with the girls or men will work with the guys. On the women's side, I know this, we're very involved with decision making and playing during competitions, so we kind of act like professional caddies on my end. I'm not sure how Coach Tate does it, but they're constantly, you know, making sure that our processes are followed, our methods are followed, our systems are followed, and just trusting the overall process of course management, game plans, etc.
Coach, you're now in your 5th season.
Yes.
As the head coach. What's that process been like, building the program over the last 5 years?
Number one, it's gone by very quickly. And I can't believe you just said that. But gosh, I love how this has evolved. I was actually talking to one player last week in Florida, and she actually complimented me. I'll never forget this. And she said, you know, I can't believe the talent that's here and what we can do and are capable of doing with it. And I want to thank you for that. And she's got another year or 2 left. I think she's going to have a COVID year coming up. And I just hope we take advantage of it. I mean, we are a very talented group of people, and I think once we get organized and really commit to our full potential, it's going to be a lot of fun to see, you know, going to head-to-head against Grand Canyon, going head-to-head against New Mexico State and the powerhouses in our conference.
In those 5 years, what's it been like watching UTRGV and the Rio Grande Valley grow?
I'm from Laredo, Texas originally, and gosh, I want this area to thrive in golf, and I want our university to thrive in our conference championships and premier events, and I want everyone to have just an elite performance mentality, including the community and including our university.
We know you want to give back to the community, and it's evident by the fact that October 31st,
yes,
you're holding a free golf clinic at Riverbend Golf Course in Brownsville. Tell us a little about that.
We're going to have all 10 women down from my team and the 9 men from the men's team, and they're basically going to be giving free lessons, doing a little exhibition / clinic for short game putting, driving range, and we just want to get those aspiring young vaqueros, put a golf club in their hand and see what they can do or see what they can learn from us, and hopefully give them tips, lessons, etc. to get better at the game of golf and want to play it more.
And not only are you going to be teaching children to play golf, you're doing 2 clinics.
Correct. Yes.
Your other clinic is for special needs kids. Tell us about that.
I have to say the head pro Eddie down in Brownsville is instrumental in that, because he has a son who is special needs, but it's going to warm our heart to be able to see the looks on their faces when they do hit a golf ball or when they do enjoy just the emotional high of being around something where they feel fulfilled and excited about the sport. I mean, hopefully it's going to warm everyone's heart, and that's the thing. Our student athletes, they understand what a privilege it is to be able to do what they do, but not everyone can play it at their level, and I think that this is a huge offering to unite everyone and make it an all-inclusive game. For so long, golf has been such an elite sport and not included everybody, and we're not going to do that. And equality amongst golf is our mission, definitely, with this clinic, and also, connecting Brownsville and our Edinburgh campus.
Anybody who comes to this class will get an opportunity to learn from a lot of people, including yourself. Now, I know you don't like to brag on yourself, but that's what I'm here for.
Uh-oh.
Brian Navoa went to Texas Tech, played at Texas Tech. All-American in 1996, Southwest Conference champion in 1996. That used to be a thing.
It did. Before the Big 12 existed, yes.
And played pro for 10 years.
I did. I bounced around the minor leagues of professional golf, played the Canadian Tour, I guess now the Tour of Latin America, Mexico, South America. I was good enough to stay out there and make enough money to stay out there, but I wasn't quite playing in the 1 percentile level. But gosh, did I try. I think I went to Q school, 13 times, and was a journeyman pro, and I played the nationwide tour. I think I played a total of 10 events. I probably tried to Monday qualify for 150, and it was an incredible life. Golf for me has meant so much. I mean, it saved my life as a young person, and my grandparents introduced me to the game and literally kept me out of trouble, and gosh, I was obsessed, and I just loved it. I grew such a passion for it that I wanted to do it all the time. And now, as a 47-year-old coach, I'm just trying to give my knowledge and I'm not going to say expertise, but my experience to everyone. I want everyone to be able to be the best they can be at whatever it is that they do, whether it's the mental part, the physical part, swinging the club, shot making, whatever it is. And it's just, I want to be a giver for the rest of my existence, I guess, on earth.
What do you mean golf saved your life?
My grandparents raised me. So my mother kind of, she went and had a little bit of fun. It was interesting. And it was like I could have gone down a different road or path, but my grandparents, raised me in Laredo, Texas from the age of 5 to 17, and I got really lucky. My grandfather introduced me to golf, and I literally practiced 10, 12 hours a day and stayed out of trouble. I didn't join gangs, I didn't get into fights. I said I was going to get a college golf scholarship. I was going to be a pro. By the age of 11 or 12, I knew I was going to be a pro golfer, and I literally dedicated myself to where there was no other way to kind of steer myself. I could have gotten into trouble in high school for sure. I could have gotten into trouble, just being a little irresponsible. But I set my vision at a very young age and committed to that, not knowing what I know now, obviously. But I didn't do the things that I could have done in Laredo, Texas. With, growing up in that area, there was a lot of mischievous individuals, and I went to a rough high school, and it was interesting. And I say it saved my life. My mom lived in Mexico, and you know, the lifestyle was a little rough or dangerous, I guess. And then I didn't have to work at the age of 8 like some people do, and realized how lucky I was to have the opportunity that my grandparents gave me to play a game instead of bussing tables, you know, working in the bar industry at a young age, and literally like having to work and not going to school, things like that to support their families, like a lot of people do, you know, in certain countries and different areas of the world.
Brian Navoa, he is the head coach of the UTRGV women's golf program. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Always fun to talk to you.
We'll be back in a minute to wrap things up. The UTRGV Coaches Show coming to you from North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley.
We all want the best for our families, to love, to laugh, to live a healthy life. At UT Health RGV, we believe every family should have access to the most advanced medical care right here, close to home. With over 100 board-certified doctors at 20 locations valley-wide, with life-saving procedures and treatments that keep you and your family healthy, UT Health RGV is here for you. High-quality care for every patient, for every family. Find your way to the best care at uthealthrgv.org.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Support. Some call it the foundation of success. Joining the V Club assists in the success of our student athletes. Preparing our student athletes for excellence in life. Thanks for watching this week's edition of the UTRGV Coaches Show at North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley. We'll be back with you next week, Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. on Somos El Valle, channel 5.3, cable 1241. Missed an episode? Want to watch this one again? Then check out archived shows on our YouTube channel at goutrgv.com/coaches show. Big thanks to UTRGV men's tennis head coach Nate Robinson and women's golf head coach Brian Navoa for joining us this week. Next week, we'll be joined by the UTRGV basketball coaches, Matt Figger and Lane Lord. But until then, so long! From North Park Lexus, Rio Grande Valley, this has been the UTRGV Coaches Show. Get your visa.